NIU is one of the biggest micromobility companies in the world. NIU was originally founded in 2014, and they've recently released the XQI, which is the only road legal E-moto on the market. I've been invited to their company to figure out exactly why they are the only company able to do that. Let's go check out the showroom.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm product manager at NIU Technology, and welcome to NIU Showroom. NIU is a NASDAQ-listed company that's founded in 2014. Our mission was set out to revolutionize the urban commute. And through the 10 years of developments, our product has went from e-moped to kick scooters to e-bikes, motorcycle, and more. And across the globe, we have accumulated over 14 billion miles of riding data. And that's pretty impressive, eh?
Yeah. So the NIU brand, it stands for bull in Chinese, but it also kind of resonates with new, like a new way of thinking, right? And this is what we see with electric scooters. They're a new form of micromobility. But can you take us back to 2014 when NIU Technologies was founded?
Back in 2014, most Chinese mopeds are using lead-acid batteries, and they performed it pretty poorly, and it was considered as a pretty low-end means of commute. And we saw this opportunity. We were the first one to implement lithium-ion battery into the vehicle. We put all the smart technology into this with smart app connected. And we tried to make this brand image. So we specifically designed this halo lamp that's already been recognized as a new icon. And we successfully turned this impression around that people are willing to invest in a product like this for their commute purpose, for their recreational purpose, and turn this into a lifestyle.
A couple more bikes behind us. Can you tell us more about the story of these bikes?
Sure. These are typically what you would see as an e-moped, but I do want to put special focus on the XQI here. As an award-winning company, this is a product where we flex our muscle in exploring different types of forms and also the manufacturing possibilities. So you will see the design, we use a lot of floating forms, clear parts, which will make this bike look very, very cyber-ish and very cool on the road when you see it. And on the chassis, I think this is the first vehicle around the globe to use a die-cast magnesium alloy chassis. The chassis itself is the exterior of the body. So I think our designers call this an exoskeleton design here.
It's a conceptual bike, but it's kind of what the NIU bike brand is all about. It's like trying to create new categories and trying to create new bikes that fulfill your clients.
Well, we always try to break that boundary.
Yeah. And this is one of the new bikes. This bike is fantastic.
Thank you.
This is something I'm probably going to pick up within the next year.
Thank you.
It's not a tricycle. It's like it's a quad because there's 3 on the back and 1 on the front. Starts from way back there, then it gets put on this trolley, and it gets loaded up. So this is what you'll need to fix one bike all together. And as it goes down through the production line, these parts will be used. So by the end of this assembly line, all these parts should be used. They get installed piece by piece. You can see that there's more than 1 assembly worker on each station. So you've got 3 people on this one.
Production lines here. And so
this is not like, it doesn't go from one production line and then here. It's different vehicles per line, right?
Yes. So every vehicle, the one line from beginning to finish, they finish 1 car. But they can alter this according to orders.
To the production schedule?
Yes. So they can change the parts for different vehicle, and they will make plans on which line does which vehicle each day.
Before the bike gets pushed off the line, checking the steering. Rear passenger seat is okay. Mudguard, license plate, everything's screwed in properly. This is a really thorough check. They even push down on the foot pegs. And then final stamp of approval. Gets pushed off. and is ready for delivery. Michael, you've been working on this bike for a long time. It's been almost a 2-year project of yours. Your sweat, blood, and tears have poured into this bike. Can you tell me more about the XQi3?
Okay. The idea actually has been cooking for a long time, and we finally got into it. And the XQi3 is the newest series of new product family. And we would like to, invite our customers to explore themselves, to explore the world with a different passion. And this vehicle is fully street legal with all the smart system embedded in the vehicle. Anything that we find on our computers, you find here and more. And we have added the time tracker on this, and also the map tracing function on this, which is never seen before on any of these E-moto before.
So this bike is not, once again, like pushing boundaries and stepping into a new category, but also encompassing everything that NIU has learned over its past 10 years and putting all of its smart tech into this bike. Like you said, the lap time tracker, your signature halo light, NFC sensor, everything into this bike. And it being the first road legal E-moto, because all the other ones on the market, you're only limited to riding them in the woods on a track. You can't ride them on the road. And what do you think that does in the overall market to have a road legal bike?
Well, I think sometimes people hesitate to spend money to just have fun. And by this vehicle being street legal, it opens up a lot more possibilities. You can use it for any kind of different purposes and while having fun.
Well, as I understand it, I have one coming to me.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to get this thing on the road and fully test it for what it is and give you guys the performance breakdown and what I think about this bike. So let's watch the next clip and find out what I think about this bike. Let's just run down the specs a little bit. This is a 72 volt, 32 amp hour battery with a motor that peaks at 8,000 watts. Nominal is 6,000. You also have DOT brakes up on the front here. Now, the really cool thing about this bike is that it's actually completely road legal. So it's the only E-moto that is road legal. Now, there is actually a license plate holder with rear turn signals, but I've removed that because that thing weighs 2 kilograms and I don't think it looks the most aesthetically pleasing. But we also have KKE suspension with a linkage that goes down from the bottom here. You have your motor, which is actually a transmission system, just like a Talaria, so gearbox. And you also have NIU's very signature halo light on the front here. So this is your high and low beam. And you also have a really cool display up here at the center control here. Now this will actually do lap times as well as show you where you've been riding to, as well as just your normal speedometer. Look at this. This is what you get with the bike. So you have one key. I have 2 of these dongles. I think I might have another card. I kind of lost it maybe. And then you have 2 physical keys here. Now there's like a lot of ways in which you can start this bike. Once you've bind it up to your account, you can actually just step up to the bike, unlock it by pushing, by pulling the 2 brakes and hitting this green button here. Or you can use the NFC here, this NFC dongle thingy as well. Or you can also use your key and activate it. The really annoying thing about this is, I'm going to just use the physical key here, is to charge your bike, you have to remove the battery, the seat cover, and you have to pop this up, remove this, and then charge it. So in and out of the battery is all through one. Basically, there's a hidden feature that I don't think many people have spoken about. I've watched a couple of reviews already of this bike, and it's actually hidden all the way down here. There's a speaker.
Oh, crazy.
So obviously, I think you can hear. There's a bunch of noise. Actually, I've turned it off, I think. Oh, the bike is off, that's why. Where's the key? The key is here. Okay, so you can hear all the sounds that this bike has. Now, it all comes from this.
It's like a car, it's like an EV.
Yeah. But you're also able to link it to your phone's Bluetooth and play music from it.
So JBL.
It's not the best audio quality, but if you wanted an E-moto that'll play music, this is it. Okay, so This is also your GPS tracker, so you're actually able to see where your bike is if it gets stolen or where you've been. So it'll show your riding log. And to mount the seat, right? And then you have to link it up here. The cool thing about this seat, or the thing that I like about this seat, is that it goes all the way up to the top. All the way up to the top, which means that if you're off-roading and you need to sit all the way up to the top here, you're able to do that. Whereas a lot of the other seats are basically from here to here. And there are situations when we're climbing, you want to get up to the very front, right? To kind of keep the front down. So that's it. Let's go for a ride. Let's head to the east side of the city and get some Turkish food. Okay, we're ready to take the XQI downtown and head to our restaurant for lunch. As you can see, we also have these lights on here. Now, when you get the bike, they're not plugged in because it's actually not road legal to have them, but I do think it looks freaking awesome. And have a look at the halo light. Okay, let's jump on the bike and let's go. Now, if you want this bike registered and you want to be completely road legal, you also do have these rear view mirrors. They mount here on the end of the bars. I've obviously removed them. Now, Eco Mode will limit you to about 45 kilometers an hour. And Sport will allow you to do the full 70-75. And if you kick it into Wild Mode, the throttle tune will be a lot more precise, in my opinion. I think there's a huge delay in the Eco Mode and Sport Mode if you don't have Wild Mode turned on. So if you do get this bike, you have to turn on the Wild Mode. The delay, apparently, I've asked them, they said when they brought this bike to the trade shows and people were trying it out, a lot of people fell on their butts. And that's why they've implemented this delay so that people who are getting onto this bike are not in serious danger. Now, my issue with that is for people who are somewhat experienced with E-motos or know how to ride this bike, that's actually a negative. It's actually also a safety feature to have the bike not be responsive. Stopwatch mode, record. Ultra boost! I mean, it's decently fast, but I think I'm too used to like riding EBMX setups where I'm pulling out like 20 kilowatts, 30 kilowatts. Like this is just like, I don't know. It's fast enough to be fun, is all I'll say. Up the ramp. Whoa. Now the suspension of this bike is really well tuned, but the riding posture is a little bit weird for me. The handlebars are really close. I mean, look at the distance between the handlebar mount and the seat. That distance between the seat and the handlebar reminds me of the Go Wow. The pixel count, probably one of the best displays I've ever seen on any form of like two-wheel bikes. Now let's talk about the cockpit here. You have your DOT brakes. Now these DOT brakes, unlike your mountain bike brakes that you see with E-Ride or 79 bike, you just pull with like 2 fingers. With DOT brakes, it's basically your 4 fingers. You can get your 4 fingers right up on there. But I do like implementing DOT brakes because the mineral oil brakes that people are using for mountain bike, I mean, they wear out really quickly and they heat up and you just end up losing your brakes, which is not really that safe. On the right hand side, you have this switch here. So you pull this off, I'm completely disengaged. So if you fall off a bike, that's a safety feature right there. And you cannot start the bike if it's rolling. So I gotta come to a complete stop. Okay, there we go. Once that light is green, you know you're ready to go. Now this bike comes in a couple of different colors. It comes in yellow, black, white, and this purple color. So you have 4 different colors to pick from. I personally think the yellow looks the best. Another thing to note is that this bike is actually significantly heavier than a Surron, but the wheelbase is also longer too by 15 millimeters. So when you're traveling at higher speeds, you're gonna feel a lot more stable on the XQI. Now, because the NIU brand is one of the leading companies when it comes to smart electric vehicles like e-mopeds, they've implemented a lot of their smart features that they have on their other models into this smart bike. Now, you may not use it as an e-moto, but if you're using this as a commuter bike or something to go from and to work daily, and you want to be street legal, those features can come in handy. Things like anti-theft feature, right? When the bike is knocked, it'll actually sound an alarm. It's also GPS tracked. You'll be able to find out exactly where your bike has gone, which also comes in handy when it comes to like learning about your riding data, if you need that performance side of things. A lot more tunable than a lot of the other stock bikes on the market. Wait, hold on, I'm cool down period. Hold on. Okay, I'm ready. 1, 2, 3. No! No! We are at China's second tallest building, the Ping An Tower. This tower is basically 600 meters tall. But while we're here, let's show you the smart features and the customizable features of the NIU XQI. So starting off with the app, you can have all your alarms muted. You can open your trunk from the app as well. Going down, it'll show you your ride data. So we've done basically 20 kilometers in 39 minutes because we've been going easy. Shows you all the battery data. Now, you can do Bluetooth unlock as well as customizing your ride. So I really suggest having the wild mode on. It makes the throttle feel a lot better, in my opinion. And then if you don't like the security features, you can turn those off as well. So there's actually quite a lot of features on here. And you can also do voice assistant with Siri. And then you can also share your key with other riders. So a pretty comprehensive app for something in the e-moto space. But the range obviously isn't that great. I mean, we went 20-ish kilometers and I went from 80% down to like 27. Oh! Why'd you stop? This is gonna rattle the entire way back. This is fine. It's just not waterproofed anymore. But that like cracked and like, look at that. It's no longer new, I guess. The screen still works, the glass is broken, which I've realized is actually quite dangerous. Like, you fell on this and you landed on some grass from the screen, that's not gonna be nice. That'll cut your skin right open. And then I'm surprised how easy, like both sides of this light just came off, like right here. Now everything on the front is all jittery. What else? I think my handlebars are a little bit bent. My brakes are down now. That's not a big deal. I can adjust those. But yeah, it's just the screen and the light. You can do it, but it's hard, right? The XQI off-roading today. And obviously, from yesterday's stupid crash, I have now a TFT screen that is wobbling around. And I don't know if it's gonna last through the entire ride, because every time the bike wobbles, the screen seems to flicker a little bit. But as long as the screen doesn't affect me turning on the bike, none of it really matters. And I'm gonna remind myself not to touch the screen because I did cut myself pretty badly yesterday. And today you guys might hear the bike rattle a bit more. I mean, we're trying to feel for any rattling, especially when you're off-roading. If you're off-roading with an E-moto, I feel like one of the most important things is that it doesn't have really like any extra noise. I know that the front didn't have any noise. There's dampeners on there, but obviously because now it's broken, you can hear it. But even right now, you can't hear the battery much, aka, you know, Talaria. You off-road with a Talaria, that battery rattles around like crazy. We're basically going to be keeping it in sport mode with wild mode turned on, obviously. And we'll use boost if we need to. I don't feel like we need to, but you never know. There's some pretty sketchy stuff on here. Because the handlebar is so low, this bike doesn't make me feel super confident, like, standing up on it. Like, I'm having to lean forward too much when I'm standing up on the bike, going over through stuff like this. Random stuff in my bag. I got my dog's toys. I got tape. I gotta tape this down to. Okay, I'm gonna tape it down to the front here. Looks sick, huh? So I think that's like one of the main problems with like making any product that looks like fancy and, you know, well thought out, at least on initial impressions. Because you have all these like cool features and like, yeah, it's like, you know, TFT display with this nice beautiful glass, but then when it comes down to it, or when you start to use your bike and it starts getting scratched, it really ends up not looking that great. You can hear the linkage. I mean, try to ignore the front, but you can still hear the linkage sound. Definitely the chain. Definitely needs to tighten the chain. Haven't tightened the chain since I got this bike. I think this is what the XQI is meant for, you know, some like light off-roading. Like some would just consider this just like uneven terrain. This is not really off-roading per se, but like this is almost very like service road like, but it's very fun on something like this, you know? Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no, fuck. Deep. Oh, that's deep. Oh, that's deep. Oh, shit. Yes, Shonyo. Oh boy. Exploring with the XQI is so much fun. They need to make a little screen protector. Actually out of metal, not of plastic, not of flimsy plastic. They're building a new dam there, that's why. I don't even know where I'm going. A reverse button. I feel like that's pretty standard if you're gonna make a road legal bike, no? You're pretty grippy. Oh fuck. $70. $80. I thought this was supposed to be limited to 75. 80 feels okay on this. I feel stable. Yep, this feels all right. It needs a little bit more torque, I feel like, for a motorcycle, but not bad at all. So the NIU XQI, it's really not a bad bike at all. I like the reliability of the gearbox. I think that's just kind of the way to go. It's a lot quieter. I'm all for being quiet and discreet. And I do think that there's still plenty of space in the motor or underneath the body to kind of make the motor bigger and add more power to it. The suspension feels nice. The overall control feels nice. What they really gotta do is just reinforce the headlight, because this is like breaking off way too easily. This glass is a massive hazard when it breaks. Like, I cut myself yesterday. And if they're making this for the road, then maybe try to find a tire that's built more for road. Like the Kenda, I believe it's called the 241. That would be like the chocolate chip, like the Hershey's chocolate chip shaped ones. Those would be good, but this is, right now, it's kind of a blend between a road bike and a dirt bike. There's features on here that are road bike. There's features on here that are a dirt bike. The charging on this bike is really kind of a hassle to kind of remove, but you are able to keep the battery inside, lock this up, and still have, you know, the charge cable come out. So you can still lock this up, but it's just a hassle to kind of remove everything. Now, this is definitely a feature-packed E-moto. One of the most feature-packed E-motos on the market, with a lot of different settings, GPS tracking, yada yada yada. But keep in mind, this is also the only bike you can have if you want a completely road legal E-moto. So yeah, it's a little bit more expensive, but it takes a lot of time and money to kind of get everything invested so that it's a completely road legal bike. You need a VIN number, the headlights, the rear lights, they all need to kind of work in a way where it abides by the regulations in whatever country. So it does end up costing more money. Thanks to NIU for sending this bike out. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching this one, and peace.